Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, make fun of, laugh at stuff over here. We are sponsored by McClures.store. You can get quality American products at McClures.store. We're going to be checking out some lying fake news journalist on CNN today. Talk to a traitor piece of shit named Mike Pence. Let's let's get into it. And let's see what happens here. I'm curious.
Trump's former Vice President Mike Pence is speaking out in great detail about Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election after sending Trump this message about 2024 just the day.
All right, she's rattling pretty fast. I must have it in double speed. Personally, I watch stuff in double speed just because people talk too slow. But let's go.
One day before, Trump may announce he is running again. Listen to this.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
David, I think that's up to the American people.
Bro, first, what happened to your eyebrow, dude? Like, you have like 4 hairs right here, bro. You got 4 hairs. You pull out your eyebrows when you're nervous or what? Does being a traitor make you a little jittery? Alright, let's hear what this wonderful human being says.
President again.
David, I think that's up to the American people. But I think we'll have better choices in the future.
Better choices than Donald Trump.
For me and my family, we will be reflecting about what our role is in that.
Will you run for president in 2024?
Well, we're giving it consideration in our house. Prayerful consideration.
Do you believe you can beat Donald Trump?
You consider it, buddy.
Well, that would be for others to say. And it'd be for us to decide whether or not we'd want to test that.
So if you decide to run and he's up there, so be it.
So be it.
Out front now, our chief.
Okay, so be it. Pence thinks he can take on Trump. That is interesting. Wow. Okay. That is funny. I need to follow Trump's statements because you're about to get shredded, bro. All right, let's see what these crazy people say.
Chief political analyst Gloria Borger, David Urban, longtime Republican strategist who was also a senior advisor to the Trump campaign, and Bakari Sellers, former Democratic member of the South Carolina House of Representatives. So, Gloria, how significant is it to hear these comments from Pence, literally 24 hours before Trump may announce he's running for president again, and days after Trump's major midterm losses?
Look, I think it's very significant. I think Mike Pence was a very loyal vice president. And
before she yammers on some more, I did want to say that I think Trump should announce that he's running now and let everybody in Georgia know that he needs that senator in office when he runs to hopefully motivate Georgia to get out the vote so we can keep that seat because they got that special election because they do their election special over there, bro. Let me tell you.
And in this interview, you hear him calling the president reckless, saying he endangered me and my family, that he was filled with indignation, and that he can't account for what the president was doing that day. He said, I was at a loading dock at the Capitol and never heard from him. He's got a book coming out. He is telling this story to the American people, and I think it's clear to me that he's decided whether or not Donald Trump is in or out.
Okay. So you're not running. You're not trying to go up against Donald Trump. You're trying to get some news clips and shit because you're selling a book. Because you're a traitor.
He's going to probably run against the man whom he used to say, we all stand on Donald Trump's strong shoulders. Remember those words? I don't think he's going to be saying that anymore.
No.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
because he's a
David, the
chump.
question is, why is Pence doing this now?
He's a chump.
Well, look, as Gloria points out, right, he has a book coming out, and I think that was planned long before Donald Trump's announcement tomorrow.
All right, the fat Mr. Clean. Who's this guy? What are we doing here? We're listening to this guy?
One way or another, but I do think it's a little poetic justice that he gets to rain on
Okay,
his former boss's parade a bit and remind people that while the Secret Service was whisking him out of the Capitol to chants of "Hang Mike Pence," his former boss was sitting at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue doing nothing about it, and Mike Pence is reminding everybody of that fact tonight and tomorrow, and then this all week.
Yeah, right. And, and of course, Trump's got that big announcement tomorrow night. Bakari, he certainly planned to announce he's running again tomorrow night. That's the plan. Now, we're going to see what he does, right? Because that plan was set before the midterms, and, we'll see. But this will be a moment no matter what. And I want to play the former First Lady Michelle Obama because she has a book. She's
Oh, yeah, why not? Let's bring on another slopstick. Come on, Michael. Come on down, Michael. You got another book coming out?
reading an excerpt from it where she talks about Trump. Let me play it.
It shook me profoundly to hear the man who'd replaced my husband as president openly and unapologetically using ethnic slurs, making selfishness and hate somehow acceptable, refusing to condemn white supremacists or...
Are you dumb? Confusing to condemn white There's literally a 2-minute montage clip of Donald Trump condemning white supremacy, which doesn't need to be done anyways, because white supremacy doesn't exist. There's like 200 assholes somewhere, like no one cares about, like it's dumb, stop talking about it, it's stupid. And then what ethnic slurs? I don't see any of those in your quote here, because those don't exist either.
Or to support people demonstrating for racial justice. It shocked me to hear him speaking about differentness as if it were a threat. It felt like something more, something much uglier than a simple political defeat.
So, Bakari, what happens if this all starts up again tomorrow night?
Oh man, I am kind of dreading the next 2 years of having to deal with the unpredictability, the lack of sensibility, the using racism as political currency that is the 45th president of the United States if he dare run for re-election again. I think the word...
Bro, you guys have mentioned racism like 100,000 times in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Shout out 420. And this guy has said it twice in like 2 sentences. Donald Trump doesn't talk about race other than to let black people know that the unemployment is low for them. And I think he only points that out just to prove like a point. Because his whole goal is just to make unemployment low for everybody. Americans. Oh, dude. The whole black and white game it's gay. It's gay. We need to stop.
Words that you heard echoed by Michelle Obama are the way that many people, many women, many people of color, many people who are put upon daily. My grandmother would always say, you can't fall off the floor. And there were many of us who felt like we were on the floor after Donald Trump's election. And her words actually echo the feelings that many of us had that day. We just had to continue to fight. And I think you saw that fight emblematic in not only 2020 and Joe Biden's election, but also last Tuesday. I just want to comment briefly, Aaron, about Mike Pence, because Mike Pence isn't raining on Donald Trump's parade. He doesn't have nearly the bullhorn. He's on a book tour. But tomorrow, if Donald Trump announces for president, nobody's going to remember who Mike Pence really was.
Well, I mean, this is you say it quite boldly there and baldly, but yes, that is.
Did she just say baldly because you're looking at fat Mr. Clean over here? Let's back it up. I'm pretty sure she said baldly, not boldly. Let's see.
for president, nobody's going to remember who Mike Pence really was.
Well, I mean, this is you say it quite boldly there and baldly, but yes, you know, that is the
Baldly,
big thing.
yeah.
Trump knows.
You said that very baldly. That's funny, bro.
He's going to take that bully pulpit tomorrow, whatever he'll do with it. David, the question is what he'll do with it. The calls from within the GOP, you know, to move on from Trump have gotten loud, right? They've gotten loud because they just had this really terrible and pathetic and unexpected loss handed to them. Republican Congressman Mo Brooks, he spoke at Trump's Stop the Steal rally. I played the soundbite 100 times on January 6th. Trump endorsed Brooks for Senate until he unendorsed him. So Brooks is saying now it would be a bad mistake for the Republicans to have Donald Trump as their nominee in 2024. Donald Trump has proven himself to be dishonest, disloyal, incompetent, crude, and a lot of other things that alienate so many independents and Republicans. And of course, David, he is not alone in sounding the alarm. Here are just a few prominent GOP members in the past few days.
Prominent GOP. Who's Mo Brooks? I don't know anything about this guy. Who's this Mo Brooks guy?
President Trump had to insert
You know that
himself,
rhino?
and that changed the nature of the race, and that created just too much of an obstacle. And by the way, it's not just Pennsylvania. You look all over the country, there's a very high correlation between MAGA candidates and big losses, or at least dramatically underperforming.
Trump's cost us the last 3 elections, and I don't want to see it happen a 4th time.
I think what Republicans came to grips with Tuesday night was we're tired of losing, and we're tired of Donald Trump dragging us to lose because of his personal vanity.
So, David, they all have their own reasons
Literally,
for
Chris
saying
Christie,
this now.
bro.
But what does it mean for Trump when you add all of it
You're
together?
gonna roll this fat ass out?
Look, it's clearly not a straight path like it was, or he thought it was going to be, right? I mean, in Pennsylvania specifically, you know, the state that I'm tied to very closely. I mean, the hand wringing, gnashing of teeth, and the bashing of Donald Trump hasn't stopped since Tuesday night. I mean, it is really bad for the former president. I'm not quite sure.
Why do you think that is there, Fat Mr. Clean? Why do you think they're bashing him so hard when they know he's going to announce for president tomorrow? Because they're trying to scare him out of doing it so they can run a rhino and, you know, they can just keep on trucking with their uniparty, taking down the country, moving all their money offshore, so it's safe when the bottom falls out.
You know, if anybody's telling him that, because it is very, very unpleasant for him if he's going to go back to the Commonwealth. He's going to find he's not welcome in a lot of places he was welcome, and it's going to be a completely different path forward. So I don't think that the party is where it was.
Do these idiots know that he's given like 80 rallies or something all over the country? Hundreds of thousands, 10s, 20,000 people show up to these things. And he's supposed to pretend he's like hated everywhere?
As welcoming for him as he thought it's going to be. And, you know, there's a poll out this afternoon by the Club for Growth in Pennsylvania and all these different states that shows Ron DeSantis way, you know, with a substantial lead over Trump. And that's changed just in the past, you know, week or so. And I think it's a message from the club and from others that, you know, we've got to find a different candidate.
And we sure know that DeSantis gets under Trump's Trump's skin, right? He was saying nasty things about
DeSantis gets under Trump's skin because DeSantis was going to be a losing candidate. Trump saved his ass, got him the election, and doesn't get any credit for it. No acknowledgement. Nothing from DeSantis either, I don't think. I mean, DeSantis is a great governor. Don't get me wrong. We like the guy. He's doing good stuff over there. But stay governor, bro. Stay governor.
We'll be talking tomorrow night at you know, at RGA. He'll be giving a speech as well. So
DeSantis versus Trump again. I mean, but Gloria, does it feel different this time?
Well, that's a really good question, Aaron. It does. But I remember after January 6th, Lindsey Graham on the floor of the Senate saying, I've had enough. This is it. and a lot of other Republicans, including perhaps the soon-to-be Speaker McCarthy, getting up on the Senate floor, and on the House floor and saying, this is it. And now the numbers are increasing, and I think it's about self-preservation. That's the difference.
See, that's the problem with all these goddamn rhinos that the Republicans have, dude. Is the Democrats are able just to roll out Republican after Republican after Republican, agreeing with them, going along with them, saying the same shit as them, because the Republicans are so weak and pathetic, dude. It's sad. It's just sad.
Difference now. They returned to Donald Trump after January 6th because they thought he had the support and they couldn't live without him. Now they've discovered maybe they can't live with him. And so if they want to win, if they want to win re-election, that
so there's some
perhaps
flip-floppy
they have
bitches.
to
That's
desert
what you're
him.
saying. Okay.
The only thing to keep in mind is that if this is a very big Republican primary, Donald Trump could do very well.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Trump sycophant or anything. He did a lot of things screwed up. The whole COVID thing screwed up. Fauci screwed up. His prolonged love of the jibby jab screwed up. Does he need to be talking shit about DeSantis right now? Right after the midterms that didn't go so well, when we still need to win Georgia? Probably not. But look, we need Trump to crush the other side. None of these other pussyfooters are going to be crushing anything, dude. They all want to get a book deal. Trump doesn't need a book deal. He's the guy for right now, bro. He's the guy. Get behind the guy.
He did in 2016,
all
2015.
Right. Thank you all very much.
All right, guys. So that's it. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. We checked out some traitors and some retards. That's funny. All right, guys. McClures.store. It's where you can support me and the channel. Get you something for the house that's made in America. McClures.store.